state of this village is strong. It's always been strong here in Pinecrest. One of the main reasons we wanted to incorporate was to protect our community character and our quality of life. And that entails having control over our own land use, and that involves having our own police protection. I think people move to Pinecrest because we have great schools, we have wonderful properties, acre lots, 12 miles from downtown, easy access to a metro rail station, wonderful parks, and a sense of community. If you were to look at an aerial photograph of Miami-Dade County, Pinecrest is basically visible from space because it's one of the only communities with a tree canopy.
It's kind of an old-fashioned neighborhood. People still send their kids to the local schools, they go to the local parks, they hang out at the community center, they go to the farmer's market. They do all of the things, all the activities that make this more than a place to sleep and make it a place to raise a family.
Inspire Pinecrest has brought out a lot of ideas, and it got more people involved, which is crucial in a smaller community such as ours, because if you don't have the community involvement, that's who we answer to.
Typically, you get 25, 30 people out at these events. We had close to 300.
That loop of information, where you say what you think and you hear what the people at your table say, and you actually walk out of there knowing what was said, what was the most important thing that was said, whether or not your thoughts aligned with the thoughts of the other 299 people in the room, gives a closure to the experience, which makes it inherently satisfying.
People were most interested in water, transportation, and power lines.
Most significant thing that came out of the Inspire was the whole water discussion, which led to the referendum.
Typically, when a community holds a special election, the fear is that there will be very low voter turnout. In Pinecrest, in our special election, we got nearly 50%, which likely doubled anything that anybody had ever expected out of this. The greatest change that's about to impact Pinecrest, where we'll become highly successful, is the fact that the County Commission is about to turn over. With that changing over, I anticipate great strides in the area of water, sewer, infrastructure, and us finally getting to a place where we can actually solve this problem.
Pinecrest is uniquely situated because we do have our 2 transit stops, and also we're going to have the BRT, Bus Rapid Transit, going down the busway, or now called the Transitway, from Daytran all the way down to Homestead. And that is going to be a game changer for South Dade.
We do need to be smart in our ways of creating better transportation modes. And that includes working with the county to figure out how we can best use their resources and how we can work together on initiatives to get our residents to various parts in the county. It's not just a Pinecrest issue.
Again, when we're acting with the partners at the higher levels of government, we're very successful. We look at FP&L, they're burying 20 miles of overhead power lines this year, and that's a first.
Another plus for somebody to move here, they buy a home with undergrounding. Boy, what a gift. Thank you, FP&L, for that one.
I think it's so important to promote sustainability initiatives, most importantly because it helps change behavior in people.
So you never say that particular thing is too small to make a difference, don't do it. You never say that particular idea is too big, so don't do it. I think the role of the municipality like Pinecrest's is to do what it can in its building code, do what it can in symbolic ways like our plastic straw ban.
One of the reasons we incorporated was for safety. So we brought on our own police department, and that's proven to be highly successful. Crime has gone down every year since incorporation. It's half of what it was, and again, at an all-time low. What impresses me about our police force is it's constantly evolving. We're not stuck in 1996's technology. We're using things like virtual roll call, different types of training for things like active shooters.
We've now started a program and have license plate reader cameras, and we're hoping to put more. And we know that they are successful. When a stolen car comes into the village, our police are immediately notified. And the other thing is our police respond quickly. For those of us who have alarms and every now and then have false alarms, we know how fast the police get here. to leave us a ticket on the door if you're over a certain number. I've had a few of those.
We have 34 neighborhood watch groups that interact with the police force on a regular basis, and that means that in any neighborhood you go to in Pinecrest, there's eyes on the street.
They have incorporated the same sort of public service philosophy that the rest of Pinecrest has, which is a little bit sort of white glove service, right? You know, the Ritz-Carlton always used to say, you know, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think our police department is ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. They always go out of their way to make sure that neighbors know one another. They always go out of their way to make sure that people are given the personal attention that they need.
Look at our facilities. Palmetto, basically a $50 million project. Gulliver, a $50 million project. Betham, a $50 million project. Who gets three $50 million projects within a few miles of each other? I mean, that's just unheard of.
These redevelopments can become highly controversial. In Pinecrest, we've taken the time to take the applicant and the school and the neighbors, put them together, and work through all of the issues that might in other communities become divisive.
Education is superb. We have 5 public schools that are all amazing, and we have private schools that are amazing that people come to from all over the county.
Founding councils did a lot of hard work in forming the character and quality of life of Pinecrest. They built our municipal facilities, they organized our parks, they put together our monument signs and street signs. Those things all age over time. So this last bond was to refresh all of them.
And so it's part of being a steward of public spaces and the public good. We have to make things ADA compliant. We have to make sure that everybody can use our spaces, whatever their age and whatever their physical limitations.
We are of the size that we can provide a concierge level of service. That means emails and telephone calls get picked up and returned instantaneously. You know, a lot of things in a city become easily apparent through very measurable type of statistics. We look at property values, we look at crime, we look at tax rates. Those things are all very obvious, and they are ultimately the result of something like Team Pinecrest or our concierge level of service. But there's a lot that goes into making those numbers what they are. It's something that's intangible. It's the ability for any member of our staff to go out on the street and interact one-on-one with a citizen who is in a moment of crisis, whether it be a peacock walked across their yard, the fact that the neighbor is making noise, or something even worse.
Our manager and our clerk have been here for decades, and I think the combination of staff and council that works together, we try to solve problems. That's why I think we're an excellent municipality.
The benefit to us for having staff that comes and stays for a long period of time is that the institutional memory that is in those offices is profound.
I love the community of Pinecrest. I think that each of us moved here for our own particular reasons. They tended to gravitate around the fact that it had a beautiful tree canopy, it had large lots, and great schools. And I think those are the commonalities that drew us here. And one of the things that we must do, and I think that's what we saw through our incorporation efforts all those years ago, was protecting that quality of life, enhancing that character.
We have a combination in Pinecrest of people who have been here for a really long time, and they are the heart of it. But then we also have a lot of people who have come since then and have only made it even stronger.
Our yards are acres, 2 acres, some half acres, lots of trees. We're east of US 1. It has a feeling of frankly, not being in Miami-Dade County. When I first moved here many years ago, we saw Pinecrest. We said, no, this is the place.
So I think when you drive into Pinecrest, you immediately know you're in Pinecrest. Of course, you have the sign, but just looking around and seeing the trees and the yards and the people, and you just know that it's a place that you want to be in. And one of our jewels, of course, is Pinecrest Gardens, which is unique to Pinecrest. There's no other municipality that has such a wonderful place to go to for families and for concerts and for classes.
Boy, what a historical park. I mean, it's beautiful. That, to me, is quality. That's what makes our community appealing. And boy, if that's been around for another 50 years, what a neat thing for those children to be able to bring their children back and say, I was here sitting in the same spot.
Our Parks and Recreation Department works so hard to provide the residents so many opportunities to just get outside and play. And it just keeps getting better and better. And every time I hear of new initiatives, I'm just so thrilled that we have a team that is dedicated to thinking about the future and considering Pinecrest needs and being able to fill those niches so that we're all happy and healthy here in Pinecrest. So this year, I co-coordinated both the Youth Advisory Council and our Pinecrest Youth Volunteer Corps. I want to continue to have them give us input on Pinecrest and ways that Pinecrest can meet their needs, because it's a whole group of kids that have very specific needs, and I think that's something we need to consider going forward when we plan for Pinecrest and plan new initiatives. Think about that demographic and how we can reach them.
Certificate of Excellence in Finance Reporting for the 23rd consecutive year. The Rocky Pomerantz Excellence in Policing Award by the Florida Police Chiefs Association. 2019 Best Crime Prevention Unit in Florida. Voted Best Place to Live by USA Today. Voted one of the top 5 places to live in Miami by MiamiInc.com. Achieved a Class A community rating system.
Now this is living?
Now, this is living.
Now this is living. No, now this is living.
Now this is living.
Now this is living.